Hello and welcome to another edition of Health Matters
and Health Focus.
I am Anna Marie Sinatra.
And I am Ava San Marco.
And together we're bringing you a crossover show as usual, so we might as well just call it Focus
on Health Matters.
We're really excited today. We have a wonderful guest for you. I'm going to be bringing you some really important information once again, so get those pens and papers ready because you don't want to miss any of this. And before we get started, I'm going to let Ava thank some of our sponsors.
Yes, indeed. Bennett Health and Wellness with Dr. Bennett, MD. He is a holistic health practitioner. Dr. Doris Rapp. She is also a pediatric allergist. Also, we'd like to thank Western New York Imaging Associates with Dr. Frank Mascaro. He is committed to the community and to this show. He has the most up-to-date diagnostic imaging equipment. And there are several locations to serve you: Western New York MRI, Lockport MRI, and Kenton MRI. And many other locations at different facilities. That's great.
He's hiding in all over, like breast health and the urban family practice.
Exactly.
Several different places.
Different locations.
Because he has the best imaging equipment. So he and Dr. Bennett are diamonds in the rough. Because Dr. Bennett, as we know, is a regular medical doctor who's a holistic practitioner and offers a variety of services. He takes your insurance, so you get to go to a regular medical doctor and mix Eastern and Western medicine at the same time under one roof. And what a blessing that is.
Yes, it is.
In the time of challenge, you want all the options that you can possibly have.
Yes, it is. So we have a very wonderful guest today.
We do. I'm so excited. Today we have Tanisha DaCosta, and she is the program director of Sisters Care Center at Response to Love. Welcome, Tanisha.
Thank you very much.
We are so excited to have you here. You are doing so many wonderful things in the community, and we're going to let everybody know about what you're doing.
Oh, good.
So tell us about Sisters Care Center.
Well, Sisters Care Center is a holistic health and human services program. As you mentioned, is located within our St. Adelbert's Response to Love Center.
That's awesome. And what are some of the services that you're offering to the community?
Well, what we offer is a very modern, very client-driven intake process where we mentor and we monitor our clients, making sure that we're acting as a stability and a go-between, say for a human service, a social service worker, or a doctor. So if that client has literacy issues or maybe just not really aware of the diagnosis that they have and they don't really know who to go to, or someone doesn't have as much time for them, they can come to our program. We'll walk them through the process. We'll tell them how their prescription should be taken. If there's anything that they needed, say food to go with that, we also offer that in the form of food bags that's offered in the center.
So for our viewers who are watching today, who would be your typical client? How would they know whether they need your services or not?
Pretty much I just say anyone. I say, you know, to keep it really simple, if you're at home and you say, I don't know who to talk to, call us. Those would be the typical clients. So that could be you or I, that could be your mom, that can be your neighbor, that can be that poor lady with 6 kids who's a single mom who just doesn't have the time or energy to look up those resources that they're truly available to her.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And you're under the umbrella of the Response to Love. Tell me a little bit about that partnership.
Well, Response to Love is where it came out of, and really quickly, it's an amazing place. Sister Jonna is our executive director. She's a Felician nun, and it's operated very, very streamlined, where you can come and you can get a home-cooked meal in our dining room where you're seated. It's free to anyone, open to the public. You're also able to go and shop in our thrift shops. Items are donated from area community programs. You can get a food bag, as I mentioned.
Wow.
You can go on our second floor. You can get a GED or computer training, which is offered through Adult Ed, Buffalo Public School Adult Ed. And then you come up to me on the third floor, and I like to think of myself as an oasis with a hug, because you're going to walk away with a hug, but you're going to come in, you might cry, but we're going to work out some goals for you, some self-sufficiency and self-sustaining goals that'll make them either be where they need to be healthy, and that could be mind, body, and spirit, because I mentioned we're holistic.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that. I really like that. Holistic always gets my ear all the time, because it's so important to incorporate all the tools that we have available to us.
Exactly. Do you offer any other vocational training there?
No, well, right now there's an AMVETS program there where the same sort of program where you can come in and get assistance, but those are for veterans, and that's on the second floor as well.
Oh, so you're servicing veterans as well?
As well, yes. Wow. And they come in, and if you're a vet and you say, for example, I had a gentleman come up and we sort of worked as a partnership where the AMVETS coordinator and myself try to align some resources for that person. So they know things on the vet side, I know things on the human social service side, and we can put that together, and that's another collaborative going on inside of Response to Love.
That's amazing. That's awesome. So they can give you a call, and then will they come and see you first? How does that process work? Well, because you mentioned a lot of services. You mentioned the closet, the clothes closet, so they can come in and get clothes. And people may need that when they're going on an interview, and they might not have the appropriate clothes to wear. You probably give them some coaching and some consulting on that interview process, some training to help. I see that you're like a full service facility. You are another diamond in the rough
that nobody really knows about. I mean, I didn't know about it.
Neither. You know, honestly, when I came in, I was amazed, and I was almost like, wow, I had no idea. But they've been in operation for 25 years. Last year, 25 years. St. Adelbert's Response to Love Center has been doing their thing. And when I say you come in the front door and it's literally you're processed along, not as if you're cattle, but as if you're a human with dignity. So you're moved through the process, you're asked, you're consulted upon. Even if you need your food bag, they're asking you, do you need turkey or do you need chicken to last you until you get your benefits at the end of the month or what have you. So everything is self and client driven to say you are a person, and at the end of the day, self-sufficiency is in your future.
That's amazing.
And that's a beacon of hope for many people, because they feel so, sometimes despaired. Now, do you refer them to medical if they need, like, to say, see a practitioner? You can refer them.
We do. That's our well, Sisters Care Center on the 3rd floor is our primary goal, is to make sure they have their primary care in place, and we deal with a lot of facilities. Fidelis is one of our good partnerships where we can refer them right over, and usually Fidelis is really good about calling that person right away or meeting them right at our center. We also have facilitated enrollers at other major healthcare entities without the Western New York community. So if someone needs health insurance or they need a doctor, I'm going through the community and I'm meeting with Jericho Road Family Practice. I'm meeting with Sheehan Memorial Family Practice, and I'm saying, listen, let's build a relationship so when my clients come in, we don't miss them, because by the time they get to me and they're asking for help, they need it.
Wow, that is so beautiful.
They need it.
Very beautiful. Now, what about people who might want to volunteer their services to help, or if you have clothes, you can bring them in as well, I would assume, and how can people help out too?
Well, we are incidentally operated 97% by volunteer staff. So without volunteer staff, our sustainability may not be as great, but they're dedicated, and we're always looking for more dedicated staff. I have nurses on my staff that come in and dedicate their time to do blood pressures and assessments for our client base.
There you go.
But then we have teachers. We have teachers. We have social workers. We have plant workers. We have engineers. We have people who come in and they're engineers working in the kitchen saying, what do you want today? So it's not about who you are. That's checked at the door. Because it's all about the service.
And I can see this could be a place where I can go and do, I've done workshops for different organizations on how to start a business, or, spiffing themselves up professionally.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Well, there they
go. Because it's all about, people, we always talk about when you're depressed or you're feeling sad, how important it is to reach out and to give of yourself, because if you're depressed, they say depression is a disease of self. So you want to feel better, give a hand to someone else.
I agree. I just recently spoke to a client and I told her, I said, you know what, you might do well. Your healing process may be coming out and volunteering and giving of yourself. You need time.
Kindred spirits.
So and she was really excited that I even offered her that. So you never know. We consider ourselves a ministry at the end of the day because we're doing God's work, and like I said, no one leaves without a hug, and so sometimes that warrants coming back.
That's amazing.
That is excellent.
And there's no charges for your service either,
Absolutely
right?
not. Absolutely not.
Do people have to qualify, or do they just automatically get your services?
The only person who has to go through a process is those who want to get a food bag. That's only because there's designated areas. So say from this block to this block, that would be Response to Love's area where we deliver our food bags. So then where our streets stop, there'll be another center that picks it up. So it's not to say people won't
really
get
good.
it.
Yes.
It's just to say it's regulated by Western New York Food Bank.
I'm really glad to hear that. Being a long time volunteer of another soup kitchen and used to it feels like another lifetime ago.
Another lifetime ago.
I don't want to say how many
years ago. I
used
used to volunteer too, got good neighbors. And
I would see the same people coming all the time, going from different place to different place. And so that's really nice to know there's like a centralized system.
Yeah, there's more process. Even with our toy drive that we gave for Christmas, there was a database created by our center. And our webmaster did a really good job making sure that people came and got what they were supposed to get and everything was fair.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, so even though we're giving away, we're also monitoring in that sense, making sure that it's all spread because people are donating these things and they're supporting and sponsoring families.
And they want to make their time.
Yeah, and you want to make sure that the right person get in and it's done well by.
And they knew too, but you say about the GED. What people sometimes don't realize is knowledge is power. And the way to do it is to get an education.
That's right.
To instill it in, especially younger people.
Well, I like to say our GED teacher just got noted. She's getting the Teacher of the Year award. So, so we are staffed with people who truly will go above and beyond, and it's now being recognized.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is
so
amazing.
That's something I'm proud of because we're family in there.
Well, I could see the light just shining from you as you're talking.
Thank you. Yeah. It's a wonderful program. It is not a day that, me and my assistant, Miss Jessie, we breathe a sigh of relief, or we're like, we have to get this done, or we cry because, some of those things you really take in and you see the seriousness of our program and the need for it.
Wow. Wow, I really felt that one.
I know,
because it's
great.
True. What does the old saying say? I cried because I had no shoes, and I saw a man that didn't have any feet.
Exactly.
So again, the best way to stop feeling sorry for yourself is to reach a hand and help someone else. And there's so many different ways that you can help. And your center is located at?
We're at 130 Kosciuszko Avenue. That's in the Broadway Fillmore District.
Okay, that's another street. I haven't heard of the organization, nor have I heard of that street. That's a new one.
Is it by St. Adelbert's?
It is. It's actually right behind St. Adelbert's. So we were the school building behind the St. Adelbert's Parish. Yeah.
So you know where that is?
Yes, I do.
I think we're going to be taking a visit there.
Oh, definitely. I know I am. Are you going? Yes,
I think so.
I know. Where the Broadway Market is.
A little further down.
Okay.
May I also mention our intake tool that we use?
Absolutely.
I think this is very important because we have a tool that was designed for us by Independent Health and Kubrick. And what they did was created this database so we can intake information on our clients. It allows us to query the information. Say, for example, I want to know how many people have diabetes in 14212. I'm able to query that data. Based off of these clients coming and giving me data that they've given us voluntarily. So they may say I need help with housing, and on this program I can go right into a housing app and say, okay, what's going on with your housing? You don't have heat, you don't have food, you have rodents, infestation, or I can go and say you have problems with your medication. It's all on a wellness wheel, part of our holistic approach, and the clients are able to see it and see everything that is being input into the program, and it allows us to keep it for either a doctor or another service provider.
Wow, that's awesome.
And this is information that's stored and kept, and it's sort of queried for goals for them as well.
That's awesome.
It's just awesome. You really a diamond in the rough. Exactly. Yeah. I never knew this.
Isn't it so nice because we watch so much TV and see so many of the things that are difficult that are going on in the world.
In the world today,
yes.
yes.
And I love our show because it allows us to bring all the good stuff that's happening in Western New York.
And this help out there for, you know, to get.
Yeah.
And it's very positive, too. Very, very positive.
Yes, I agree.
Anisha, very good. Thank
you very much. You guys must come by and visit.
You know, that's what I was thinking, too. I'm thinking we do on-site tours, too, with the camera. We come in so we could show the outside of the building and all the inside and that, because I'm getting the vision of this, and it's just incredible.
And it's a buzz. You feel the buzz when you come in, and the hugs.
The love and everything.
Yes, the hi, how you doing? Yes. So, yes.
I imagine so, yeah. You're helping other people.
Yes, and it's fun. You're always laughing and joking and hearing someone's story, and you know, it just becomes very, very spiritual.
And so do you get a good amount of clothes for the practical stuff coming in? Do you need more donations?
We're always.
I was going to say, what is the most that you need that for viewers who are watching today and saying, that's it, I'm going to start to get involved today?
Well, any clothing or household items are big pushes. Also, we give out personal need items, and right now we're really looking for toilet paper. We give those out with the food bag too, because as you know, food stamp dollars don't stretch, and neither does the cash benefit. So a lot of times they're not able to buy sanitary napkins, paper towels, toilet paper. So those basic need items that we take for granted, we really need those, because we give those out in those food bags for free to our clients.
Wow.
But clothing items, children, baby items, we get a lot of children that come in from the community, and they can always use clothing, jackets, I would say strollers, things of that nature. If you're not using them anymore, they'll go to good use.
And this is a good time. Well, any time is a good time to clean out your closets, clean out your drawers, clean out your house, and get rid of what you don't use, because it's like this magic that happens when you clear things out and you give away. You're kind of like making room for the new.
Right.
And the new can't come in unless you get rid of the old.
At the same time.
Exactly. I agree with that.
Yep.
I agree with that mantra. And we get it all the time. We get it from all over Western New York, but it goes just as quickly. So, you know, if anyone has it in their heart to give anything to our program, it would go to good use.
Wow, I see that. I see that.
I see that. Exactly.
So would they want to call you first? Because we've got your extension up at the bottom of the thing. So they give you a call directly, and then you filter them through the process?
Yes.
Okay.
They can call the number, the 894-7030 number, without the extension, and they'll get passed over to the appropriate designation.
They would just say what they're in the need for.
Exactly.
So it's not like you have to go through a certain, you could just jump in where you need the help.
Yes, they'll answer, and they'll say, you know, do you want myself, or do you want Sister Janice, or do you want intake? Intake is probably where you want to go.
Yeah.
If you want to volunteer, you ask for our volunteer coordinator, and that's probably.
Do you have to fill out an application to be a volunteer? Or?
Well, yeah. Okay. I mean, it's not going to be. We're not going through it to see any specific criteria, but we want to know who you are.
Yes. What are your qualifications?
Yeah, we'd like to know. Yes. I mean, there's a few things that we like to know, but other than that, no. You know, you just have to have a good heart and pure spirit, and come in and be ready to serve.
Do you have training for your volunteers?
We do not. For me particular, at the Sisters Care Center, I do a small overview of an orientation, basically getting them familiar with the clients that we serve. It's pretty much what it is, because by the time they come to me, we've already filtered them through, and they've expressed the desire to do a little more, which is probably something in the medical field. So if that be the case, then they're automatically sent to me, and then from there, we'll go through, like I said, a few tools and a few small mock interviews, just to let them know this is the type of client we have. What would you do if that were to happen? Because it's a unique client.
That's right.
And you want to make sure that you can relate, or if not relate, you can empathize.
And if you don't want to work directly with clients, maybe the possibility is, you know, sorting clothes or answering phones. There's other things to do, because it's really, I like that you said that, it's really important to do what you like. If you're not a people person, we don't want you working with the people.
Exactly. And
you
can be sorting. You can definitely sort. But I mean, you want to make sure that you're okay with listening to these stories, because sometimes, you know, I have to make sure I don't take them all home, because they can be disheartening, and you want to make sure that you can handle that. So, you know, I have to make sure that they're aware that, you know, it could be fun, it can be disheartening, it could be rewarding, but whatever it is, you know, be ready for it.
Yeah, all of those things.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why it's important for us to take care of our caretakers. So I hope that you do something too. I do that kind of stuff too, retreats and different things for the caretakers, because when you're giving,
yes.
and sometimes if you belong to a church or a spiritual organization, whichever your affiliation is, it's good to go and get rejuvenated,
That's right.
you know, each week.
That's very
important.
true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. So you have some long-term goals for the organization?
Yes. Last year, my goal was to connect with human service and social service providers, making sure that they knew what the basic bottom need. I think my primary thing when I came into the program, I said, you know, getting them health insurance, getting them doctors is all well and good. But if their basic needs are not being met, that's an issue for me. So, you know, I went back to the books. I looked at Maslow's hierarchy, and I said, you know what?
You must have been reading my mind. I was thinking of Maslow.
I love Maslow,
yes.
and his theory can be basic. If your basic needs, self-sufficiency is at the top.
That's
exactly.
right.
It's at the top, but you have to go through a bunch of other little areas.
Tanisha,
So the basic bottom needs, food, clothing, and shelter. I can't tell you, you need to get to the doctor if you're hungry. You're not. You're going to weigh it out, and you're going to say, you know what, my imminent
if one
need
is out of line, it affects
the other
on the pyramid.
Exactly. Yeah. So they have to have those basic bottom needs met before we can.
It's perfect, just like nursing the holistic. I can't believe the similarities.
Well, if you break them down, they kind of go hand in hand, I think.
Yes,
holistic,
exactly.
mind, body, and spirit. Well, then if part of that mind, body, or spirit is missing, are they holistically healthy? No, they're not.
And that's what they're recognizing, these different ministries.
Right.
To go along with that. So, you know, because it's a whole person. And years ago they didn't recognize it, but now they do. There's a whole bunch of things that go with that.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. That years ago, I was thinking when you were saying that too about how many missionaries would go to third world countries and bring Bibles, and the people would be like, "We need food. We need food and water. What do we need this Bible?" So you know, you have to meet people at their level, at their need,
at their base, and that was the long-term goal. The strategic plan was to connect them with their human service side. Now that they know they can come to me, and if they need assistance with housing, I won't give them the assistance. I'll refer them though, and we'll walk through, we'll mentor, and we'll monitor until the need is met. However, once we have 1, 2, 3 conversations about those basic needs, eventually healthcare becomes an issue, and that becomes the topic of conversation. Right. So we've just had a 360 dialogue that they weren't even aware of, but because I was able to work with them in eliminating those issues that were imminent. Now our long-term goal, which is to make sure you're self-sufficient and healthy overall, is being achieved, and that's the strategic plan for the center, making sure our clients are moving along that spectrum.
So you're addressing really a lot, and the picturing if it's like a pyramid, and the self-actualization is at the top. So with the GED and the education, they're achieving that.
There you go. There you go. And it's
perfect.
It's literally building. It's building. You're eating at the bottom level, literally. First floor, you're eating. You're being clothed. Then you come up, you're getting educated, and then we're saying, okay, you're ready to step out there. What's your goals? Come to the Sisters Care Center. What are your goals? Besides being healthy, besides being this, do you want to be happy? How can you get there? And that may mean going back downstairs to get computer training now.
I was just going to say, find out what stops them, because many times people, to feel self-sufficient, they need some kind of skills as well. Coming in from the base or the ground zero, so to speak, there's things that have to be addressed, and learning some type of skill gives people more confidence.
I agree.
So you have mentors 100%. And people who help with the process before they actually go for their GED.
Well, you know, the GED teachers and the computer teachers sort of work as that as well. You know, they're there to make sure that they're aware of the process, what's going to happen next. If they need more work, they tell them, this is what you need to focus on. But I've known our computer teacher and GED teachers to assist with paperwork, recertification applications. So this is going above and beyond, again, because they get it. If they don't get those recertification paperworks in, they're not going to get their food stamp, which means they're not coming to class. They're not thinking about that. So sometimes that's what it's about, but it takes a special person to realize and recognize, and then work at assisting in that capacity.
You know, the time flies on this program. It's just amazing, and we're winding down. And I'm just wondering if there's anything that you didn't get a chance to mention or talk about, or if you want to look into the camera, your camera, and talk to people and encourage them to come out and to give you a call.
Okay. Well, basically what I want to say is that our program is again located at 130 Kosciuszko in the Broadway-Fillmore area. We'd love to have volunteers come out and assist us with our mission. We'd also love to have any client, any person, if it's your family member, who you know may need assistance but probably won't go out there and get it. Have them give me a call up at the center. I nurture, I mentor, I hug, and I like my clients, so I make sure that they're taken care of. Thank you.
Tanisha, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Tanisha DaCosta, the program director at Sisters Care Center at Response to Love. We just appreciate you coming and helping to sponsor this program today and giving the community the information that's going to empower them to help them. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And you heard it, folks. You heard it. It's important now. Information is power. But without the information, without the wait a second. Information is power.
She's excited.
Without the action behind it, it's not you haven't done anything. So now it's up to you to take that first step to call Tanisha, tell her that you saw this program, at least make the phone call, and then maybe you'll make the appointment. And whether it is you need the services, or maybe you're going to get some services and then wind up volunteering there too. Whatever it is that you do, you got to do something. You got to start somewhere.
Right, and it's a lovely, nurturing environment too.
Yes,
and that'll foster your growth.
You know, every week we come to you and we give you great information, and the way that we're able to do that is by our wonderful sponsors. And I know that you're calling them and you're emailing and texting and calling us, so please keep those calls and that information up. And if you think you might want to be a guest on the show, give me a call and let me know, because I'm always happy to talk to you. You know, I want to take a moment to thank a couple more of our sponsors. We want to thank Marge Reed, who's an esthetician. Did I say it right?
Yes.
Esthetician. That's a mouthful. She's at the Healing Spa, and she does a variety of different things. She does non-surgical facelifts. Shall we talk about who's doing that right now?
Well, if you
Tell me if I'm looking a little bit better each time.
You look wonderful.
Thank you. They're painless. They're fun. It's like a facial. It is a facial, and she's using microcurrents to stimulate the muscles to tighten up your skin. So that might be something that you might be interested in too. Give her a call. She also does color and light therapy and essential oil treatment, oxygen therapy, and she's a Reiki master too. And of course, you know, I always like to thank Kim at Mr. Frank's Barbershop Salon and Day Spa. She is amazing. You heard me talk about I'm coming off the cuff now, the Italian man who came in and did a seminar and did all the latest colors and cutting techniques to help to make your outer self too, because as we know, that's important too.
It's true.
Ava, you got a little bit of a hair change.
Yes, I did.
Too. She did.
Summer,
and you know one of the other things she does, one of the other things she does too is a therapeutic, a medical pedicure. So I'm going to leave that up to you to give her a call and ask her what the difference is, because there truly is a difference. So remember, until next time, your health matters.
So stay focused.
Write down those numbers and call someone. Do something today to begin to take that first step.